Hello?
I'm gonna have the last one.
Alright, here I go.
Oh, there's no more.
You want it?
That's fine.
You want it? There's two. Two.
There's two?
There's two.
I'll use it.
Hold on, Nana.
Alright. I was testing it. I didn't care that much, but you still said no. Even though I was gonna be letting you have it. So if you really want it, just because I'm your son doesn't mean I can have it. You want it to have it.
I want you to have it. Can't accept the fact that I want you to have it? Damn it!
Any more over there?
What?
Oh.
I'll
I'll go to the store when I get off this real talk. Let me have that box.
Oh, it's here. This one.
Oh, cool. Yo! Alright. Yo, I'm back to get it popping like back to get it popping like. Is that where Nano go?
Nope, I'm back.
Yo. What up, kid?
Yo. What's going on?
Alright, man. So we had some games played today. We waiting on one game before we can advance to the divisional round. I'm here to talk about those games. Rams best team in the NFC. Oh shit, what's up, kid? As you see, he says he's the best team in the NFC. Don't know if I took my phone out. Didn't. Sitting right here. And we get it in to get it in. You know what I'm talking about? So we had some big time games today that were played. We're waiting on one game to be played before we advance the league. Time. But while we're waiting on that game to be played, I will continue to talk about the games that were played. Let's just dig into it right now, man. Go to that playoff chart, the NFL playoff pictures 2027. Here we go. So the game we're waiting on is the Falcons versus the Bucks. They are supposed to be playing soon, I guess. They said what, about an hour or so, Nana?
2 hours, like about 11:30, 12, 11:30, 11:45.
Late game. Alright, well, playoffs, I go. We should already be in a divisional round, but hey, what do I know? Alright, so let's start with the game that was played first today, and let's dig into it. See what's going on with it, man. So the Ravens played the Jets. We talked about matchups. We talked about key players in the game. Offensively, we talked about Lamar Jackson being a kind of being a X factor for the Ravens, and AI, the running back Anthony Israel, the my player running back, being that guy for the Jets. When we talked about defense, we spoke about the entire defenses on both teams, the 11 players that start and those backups that play in the game as well. The Jets had a bigger presence when it comes down to stopping the run this season than Baltimore did, but they both were good against the run. This game was in the snow. When I say snow, it was downpouring snow. So you know how that go, man. When you got to be the away team playing with those white uniforms on, it's very hard to see things. And then the snow, the element brings on a lot of things, man. It's like you think connection be terrible, but a lot of it has to do with just your playing in the snow. Hard to kick, double lines, hard to control your players. And so on. I think we both were caught in that situation. But to dig into the game and into the numbers, a 23-3 ball game. The Jets sealed the game with a field goal late, but the Ravens jumped out early on top, 17-0, and then it was a stalemate the rest of the game until like fourth quarter. The problem was the Jets really couldn't get it going on offense today. They punted 7 to 8 times today. So the Ravens defense did show up as a whole. Let's get into it though. Alright, box score. Neither one of them really lit up the box scores. 147 offensive yards gained for the Jets, 294 for the Ravens. 150 on the ground to 28. So the Ravens, again, their running game is based on their entire backfield, along with Lamar Jackson. And it was really the AI show. He was held to 28 yards today, 150 for the Ravens. The passing game was really non-existent for both teams, 119 to 144. Ravens had the 9 first downs to the Jets 4. As you go down the total yards gained, 324 to 175. The Ravens edged that there. Both of them turned the ball over twice. The Jets was 100% in the red zone with the field goal. And the funny thing is, it doesn't look as if the Ravens even got into the red zone this entire game. Time in possession was even, 13:45 to 14:15. Time in possession was even. So again, I told you those defenses are pretty solid. They both showed up as much as they could. 73.8 QB rating and 71. Both of those ratings are terrible. 141 passing. He threw one interception, no touchdowns, but he was sacked 5 times. Marcus Holmes, my player. Again, the Ravens front four wasn't the source of the pressure. It was more the Ravens sent the heat this day, and they got there off of blitzing. So 5 sacks. Lamar was sacked once. He did throw 2 touchdowns, but he threw 2 picks in the process as well. The run game, Javonte Williams had 14 carries. He was under his average, 5.9. He did score 82 yards. Lamar had 46 yards on 6.6 yards a carry. AI was kind of shut, 14 carries, 31, 2.2. He really got held to barely 2 yards a carry. I mean, 2 yards, yeah, 2 yards a carry. Relique Brown had 5 for 22 and 40.4 yards, and Katoni had 1 for 2 yards. So we held them to 2 yards a carry, and we was around 5 yards, 5.5 yards a carry, close to 6 yards a carry when we were on offense. In the receiving category again, Jalen Waddle had 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, both bombs. So he caught him on some move, baby. What happens when the run game is working pretty solid and you got to stop the run? You can sneak a play or 2 in, and that's what happened. 2 touchdowns, 101. 50 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns. Outside of that, the running back AI caught the most passes out the backfield, 4 for 74. Weiss had 2 catches for 30 yards. Relique Brown led our team with 3 catches out the backfield, but only 27 yards. As you can see, Boo McCoy and CJ Williams were held to 1 catch, 2 catches. Defensively, looks like Loudermilk had a really big day, 7 tackles. Patrick Queen also showed up, 7 tackles. Sean Price showed up as well, 6, and Brent English had 5. Galvatron was there today too with 5. Ramsey and Stingley both had 4. So the tackles were there, but the big stats wasn't. 2 tackles for loss for Patrick Queen. Stingley came with 2 tackles for loss. Kelvin Joseph from the cornerback position had 2 tackles for loss too. Justin Flo had 2 tackles for loss. Isaiah Loudermilk, Sean Price, Noah Sewell, Woodbury, Breeze, as you can see going on down. A lot of the Ravens had a tackle. So the entire defense stepped up. Sacks, Isaiah Loudermilk had 1. Hammer had 1. Jason Oway had 1. James Williams, Galvatron from the safety position came down and got a sack. Travis Hunter from the cornerback's position got a sack. That's our 5 sacks on the game. Kyle Joseph had a half a sack along with Sean Price. They got to Lamar once. These are the 2 guys that got there at the same time. INT department, Galvatron had a pick. Ramsey stepped up, and Hufanga stepped up. So Hufanga and Ramsey had a pick for the Jets, and Galvatron had 1 pick as well. That was the last play of the game, pretty much a throw it up, game over. Throw it up to try to make something happen, and we came down with it. Other than that, he had a clean game as far as turnovers through interceptions. So, and again, this game came out of 2 teams familiar with each other. 2 teams, 90% of the teams played on the same team with each other. So they knew each other. Again, playing in the snow is very, very, very challenging at times. And this was one of those games. It was a dirty game, and the Ravens came out 23-3 victory. So they move on to the divisional round. And if you look at the AFC playoffs, the pictures are already clear. It looks like the Ravens are going to be seeing the Colts in the divisional round, and the Chargers are heading to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. And our next game that was played on a day was the Dolphins and the number 5 seed Chargers. Not called this, and it was no disrespect to the player that has the Dolphins. It's just that he's new to the league and he really doesn't have a handle on what's going on in this league. So I called this to be a lopsided game, a blowout type game, and it was exactly that, 52-10. Did you watch any of this game, Nano?
I watched a little bit of it, but not enough to speak on it. No.
All right, so let's.
Yeah.
All right, so let's dig into it. Box scores. Here we go. 502 offensive yards gained to 289. 111 in the offensive rush game to 117. 391 in the passing game. The Chargers are hitting on all cylinders, throwing the ball. I watched a lot of this game. They were dotting shit up. their scheme setups, their on the fly hot routes and things that they were doing in this game showed me a lot. It was really intriguing to see them dialing some things up, moving a user and playing the game behind that user, making a user chase and throwing behind it and doing all types of things like that was the key to their success for almost throwing for 400 yards in this game. The Dolphins threw for 172. They had 11 first downs to 12. That was even. When it comes down to the turnovers, the Dolphins only committed 3, but the Chargers only committed 1. In the red zone, they both was 100%. The difference was the Chargers scored 3 red zone touchdowns, and the Dolphins kicked the field goal in the red zone. Time of possession, the Dolphins had the ball for 18 minutes and 27 seconds to 9:33, and to lose 52-10 with that type of time of possession, that means when the Chargers got the ball, they struck quick and fast, and then the Dolphins controlled the clock the entire game. 18, that's damn near 20 minutes of having a football in a 28-minute game, and the score was still 52-10. So that means they were hitting all cylinders. Almost a perfect QB rating, 153.2, 397 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, no INTs. Eric Mahoney had a 44.7 QB rating. He threw 3 picks. He was sacked twice. In the run game, Neefbuck had the ball 20 times. He did rush for 121 yards, 6.1, but no touchdowns. LJ stepped up with 8 carries for 100 yards. He averaged 12.5. Again, he did what they want. 1 touchdown. Shador had a carry. 4 of them carries, 12 yards, 3 yards a carry, but 1 of them resulted into a touchdown. In the receiving category, Devontae 6, 195, 2 touchdowns. Eskridge 1. A woo baby, 65 yards and a touchdown. Neefbuck caught the ball 7 times for 63 yards out the backfield. Corey Palmer had 3 catches for 63 yards and a touchdown. Brian Addison stepped in with a woo baby as well. 1 catch, 58 yards and a tee. And you get down here to the tight end. Corey Little, 2 catches, 32 yards, 16 yards a catch and a touchdown. They went bonkers in the pass game. Defensively, Ringo had 8 tackles. Wesley Basanti has 6. Brad Hawkins has 6. Melifanu has 6. J.C. Horn has 6. Ali had 5. Angelo Love had 5. Chris Rump had 5 from the DN spot. And that's all Chargers before we even get down here to a Dolphin. Martin Johnson had 4 tackles. The tackle for loss department, it was a whole bunch of 1s. Sack-wise, like I said, we seen 2. Ringo came off the edge on a blitz, got to the quarterback. Chris Rump as well got to the quarterback. And Dorian Cotwell from the safety spot got to Shador. In the INT department, you had Ali, Khalil Ali had an INT. Darion Green Warren had 1 pick. J.C. Horn had a pick as well. So they go to INT department right there. The Chargers take that high explosive number 1 point scoring offense to Las Vegas to try to get over that hump for the 3rd time this season. Where the Raiders got them twice already this year. They on their way to Las Vegas, somewhere that they're really used to going to and used to playing. So they're just 2 teams will play for the 3rd time this year. That should be a big time game to check out. And then we get to the next game that was played, which was the Colts versus the Broncos. 40-14, man. Looked like the Colts showed up. Looked like they were the Colts that we've been seeing a lot this year, where they just showing up, dominating players, dominating the teams they play. 40-14. Let's dig into it. Again, the Broncos took a rookie quarterback into these playoffs, and let's see what happened. 305 offensive yards gained, 145 offensive rushing to 17. We called this. We said if the Broncos come out and all throw and being one-dimensional, they were going to have a long day. 17 rushing yards is exactly that. The Broncos got to fix this run game like soon, before this disc is over with, or they just not going to ever do anything outside and make the playoffs or barely make the playoffs. They need to really focus on their run game. I think they need to attack the running back position and maybe some offensive linemen or something to get this run game going, because John Emery is kind of like over there just to be over there.
He don't really have any help, so it's kind of hard to like establish a run game, because especially when like John Emery get tired or something, if he throws to him out of the backfield and he get tired often, then who's gonna come in to replace him spell him on those downs? He don't really have anybody over there. I mean, he has like 4 running backs on his roster, but they're all like in the 70 overalls, so I mean that's not really gonna help at all.
Well, that's what happens when you go a whole league and not invest yourself into running backs. When the entire league got 2 to 3 running backs on their team, that can start for the teams, and he just has one. I mean, you have to eventually you have to see that, and you have to be able to make that type of move, whether it was through trade or through the draft. You have plenty of opportunity to fix that backfield, and John Emery alone can't do it himself. And the fact that he can't do it himself, he's not getting the opportunity to do it. You can't win playoff games throwing a ball all game long without a run presence. You just can't. It's just impossible. The more you throw the ball, the more chance you have for INTs or interceptions or turnovers, whatever you want to call it. They are in your face. The more you sit back and just throw the ball all game, the more chances the defense have to put themselves in a situation to make you turn the ball over. That simple. And I think that's what happened in this Broncos game right now, man. 8 first down to 15. He got dominated. 341 yards to 211. 3 turnovers. Look, Broncos 7 turnovers. Like I said, they were 100% in the red zone, 66% for the Colts. This Colts did score 4 times in the red zone. And the Colts dominated the game, 18-26, 9-34. They motherfucking played a legit game. I'm not gonna say it was a butt ball game, even though they had the fucking ball longer than way longer. He had a damn near 20 minutes in a 27-minute game and 28-minute game too. But I think that's just the fact that the Broncos turned the ball over 7 times. How else? How do you not have the time of possession battle if the offense keep giving your offense the ball back? 77.4, 192, 2 touchdowns. He did throw 3 picks. Fields didn't look really good at all. He got sacked 5 times. So the defense showed up to play for the Broncos, bro. The offense didn't. AJ Duffy 59.2, 191, 1 touchdown, 6 INTs. He was sacked 6 times. Misery day for him. Devin Ford got 23 carries today, 112 yards. I kind of called that. He was going to get Raven football on the way, and he did exactly that. 23 carries out of him, 6 carries out of Justin Fields. So that's 30 plus carries, almost 30 carries right there. I'm quite sure I can go to another running back to get another carry. Yep, there's your carry 30 right there with my boy Noah King. 1 carry, 4 yards. 30 carries out of the Colts, bro. They came and ran the ball, and they showed you they was not going to stop running the ball either. So 23 carries, 112, 4.92 touchdowns. Devin Ford had a really good day today. Emery 3 carries, 15 yards. Now he averaged 5 yards a carry. I would have thought you give him the ball another 15 more times, then we having a good day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like we just keep talking about the run game. It's for a reason. If you gave him 15 more carries, you turn the ball over 4 less times, and then you have time of possession a lot more. And maybe we're not looking at a blowout right now.
Shit. Maybe like 5 less times turn the ball over. Take some pressure, especially because you got to think about it. He was playing with a rookie quarterback in the playoffs.
Running around like he had him for 8 years.
That still applies. That like he's gonna show his rookie presence. Like it's not rocket science. He's not gonna be coming out there lining up and gun ace and empty backfield dotting shit up all game long. There's no way. He has a dog in the backfield. He gave him 3 attempts.
3 attempts. Rondale Moore caught the ball for 2 times, 61 yards. He had a touchdown. Kenny Soares, the rookie tight end, showed up, 2 catches, 51 yards, and a touchdown. Baldwin had 2 for 45. Hamler had 2 catches. Kyle Pitts had 2 catches. Noah Fant had 2 catches. Rod Smith Jr. 2 catches. Mike McKeown had a catch for 24 yards, and JT Bolden had 3 catches for 22 yards. And this is the guy that he needed to step up. He got shut. I don't know if it was one-on-one there with Malik Harvey, the cornerback, or which I doubt. He probably was in the slot, and this guy's not going to be in the slot that much. So when you come out nickel and dime, that wasn't a matchup. But as a whole, that secondary kind of held him under wraps completely. Now the Broncos secondary played well too. They held the Colts players and no catches though. But I think he was more in tune to running the ball and not making mistakes, and capitalizing off those turnovers. Simple as that. You get to the defensive side of things. Newport had 6 tackles. Malik Harvey from the slot had 6 tackle for loss and 2 INTs. He balled out today. I mean, he's playing shutdown level of talent, level of competition, like football. He's been balling, bro. He's been balling out for the last couple of seasons, man. Malik Harvey, an ex-Raven, out here putting in work over there for those motherfucking Colts right now, man. That's what happened when the Jaguars give up a guy he shouldn't have gave up. I mean, I gave him up in his first. He had 1 year with me. I redshirted him and then traded him. And the guy comes out a couple seasons later, and he's one of the top corners in the league. And he can move him around. He can play him in the slot. He can play him on the edge. He can shut down your number one. He can really do so much, which allows that defense to do so much more things as well. And people don't see the value in players. And when you don't see the value in players, somebody else's trash becomes somebody else's treasure. Simple as that. And we got to start showing love to Malik Harvey, because he's another kid from the hood balling out. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We got a lot of those Camden residents playing well in Madden right now, man. They balling out right now, man. Show them guys some love, because they putting in work throughout the entire league. All right, so Malik had 6 tackles, a tackle for loss, 2 interceptions. My favorite stat on defense is tackle for losses. Lamont Wade, who can play either or, corner or safety, had 2. Sack department. There was a lot of sacks handed out in this game. Drew Sanders stepped up and was playing amongst boys. He said, I'm a man, big boy, no little boy. 4 sacks, he balled out, man. Khalid Higgins from the cornerback spot, 2 sacks. Kwity Paye also showed up and said, don't forget who I am, 2 sacks. Marvin Wilson, one of my favorite players, a sack and a half. You also had Devontae Wyatt, who stepped in for Jack Sawyer last year's playoffs and played pretty well. He had a sack. Quite sure he earned himself a starting job. Jack Sawyer only had a half a sack, so they contained him. He did have 5 tackles in this game. In the INT department, Malik Harvey 2. Najeel Thomas been getting picks all year long from the my player position of strong safety. He had a pick. Lamont Wade had a pick. Jalen Jones had a pick. Jacoby Stevenson had a pick. Robert Rochelle had a pick. So all the big name guys. Mason Smith had a pick. So I'm starting to see this guy get picks. That means he's dropping him in the coverage a lot. With another pick. Now I saw this pick. It wasn't that he was dropped in coverage. It was a batted ball. He snagged that shit. And then Kalen Bullock also had a pick, the other corner for the Colts. So it was a pick fest out this bitch. They was out here donating and shit, but the guy that donated the most got blown the fuck out. Simple as that. Alright, so they were all our games in the AFC was knocked out. Again, the Ravens will be hosting the Colts, and Chargers will be traveling to Las Vegas to play the mighty Raiders in their last hurrah. Now, on the other side of things right now, we got 2 out of the 3 games played right now, so let's take a look at what happened over here for the Cowboys and the Washington football team. 28-3. D West, man. At this point, we have to say D West has hit his number. I hate to say that. That's my guy, one of my favorite guys in Madden is hitter, but it's some reason he can't get over this Dallas Cowboy hump right now. Hate the fact that they had to have that 3rd matchup, but again, they come into this game 28-3. I didn't watch it. I was trying to tune out of it to have him focus, so I won't interrupt him while he playing, because I know how I get when he play and I'm watching. So anyway, 180 offensive yards gained for the football team, 299 for the Cowboys, 71 in the run department, and I think that's the tell-all right there. 198 rushing yards for the Cowboys, 109 passing yards, 101. So D West came and played playoff football. Like, he didn't make himself a passer all game long. I mean, to throw for 101 yards and 109, they really wasn't. They both was invested in the run game. It just looked like the Cowboys' run worked. 10 first downs to 9. Okay.
Can I say something about this game? I did not see K Wheels at all. So I don't know if he was hurt, if the coach sat him down because he was mad. He did not touch the ball once. He started Jalen Knighton. I don't know what it was going on.
So you mean to tell me the fastest running back on the game did not touch the football today?
He did not touch the football. I just went to the injury report, and I do not see that he was injured. So I don't know what is going on, but he literally has 0 attempts.
See, but that's what I mean. That's coaching right there. That's the, I hate to say it, but I tell hitter this shit all the time, man. You can't make dumb decisions coaching and shit. And that's the dumb decision right there. I would like to get to talk to him and find out why the fuck doesn't the best player on your team this guy win you ball games with seconds left. Like, this is the guy. I don't understand why he didn't touch the ball in this game. Like, how do you sit the fastest fucking running back in the league in an important playoff game and you don't give him the ball? I don't get it. at all. And he still rushed for damn near 100 yards. I mean, imagine if that kid was on the field.
Yeah, I was just shocked. I was like, oh, is Knighton hurt? Like me and Joe.
He could have possibly got hurt in
that.
that game. He could have got hurt in the game. Maybe that's what
But
happened.
he literally gave him 0 attempts. So how? Maybe in the pass game? I don't know. I don't even see a stat, one stat at all.
What? You're not gonna give me a hook?
So I'm confused.
All right.
I don't see one stat for Kyron Williams, so I don't know how.
Love you, buddy. Yeah, I don't know, man. 4 turnovers to 2. You get down here 13 minutes. They both had the ball for the same amount of time. Let's get into it. Again, I mean, 75.3. Malachi Nelson, 152 yards, rookie 1. And then you got a rookie quarterback playing. I would have sent that pressure all game long at his ass. 152,
Yeah.
1 touchdown, 2 picks, and Kevin Harvey comes out and do exactly what I said he can't do, which is 19.3 QB rating and throw 4 picks. Simple as that. I don't think that's taking chances. I think that's just trying to make something happen. And when you're trying to make something happen, man, things happen sometimes backwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit, I done burnt the shit out of myself. Oh my god. Alright, so yeah, man. I mean, Travis went off. He had 13 carries, 152 yards, 11 yards to carry, 2 touchdowns. Shit, Malachi also had 5 carries, 9.2 yards to carry, and a touchdown. Quarterback and running back went off. Antoine Little, the big back, I know he's not ready. He did have 10.5 yards to carry though, but he's just not ready. Now, I mean, not yet. You're going to see a high dosage of him this season coming up. And then Knighton touched the ball 10 times, 15 yards. He literally got a yard and a half a carry. Kevin didn't really do much out the backfield either, being the dual threat that he is. I don't understand. We got to figure out what's going on with this Washington football team offense, because that's just Achilles heel. Other than that defense is stout, and through that, even through all the shit we're showing that's not happening on offense, you can tell the defense come to play all the time. They are there. They are one of the best defenses in the league, and they show up. Gilbert, 4 catches, 82 yards. Knighton out the backfield, 49 yards. Brendan Rice had a catch and a touchdown. I mean, literally didn't do anything in the passing game. They shut the Cowboys down really in the passing game. Like flat out shut them down, right? But they shut themselves down as well in the passing game. Defensively, Preston Brown had 7 tackles and 4 tackles for loss. He stepped up today. Cisco had 4 tackles as well. So let's look at who else had tackles for loss. Small Monday, he always shows up. Sack-wise, see who got there. Chase Young, look, 3.5 sacks. Cyrus Moss, the DN, had a sack. Tresman Marshall, names we always see with a sack. Tommy King Besoto had a sack. You got Jaleel McRae had a sack. Chris Tunji had a sack. Kenyatta Jackson had a sack, and then a half a sack for Keontae Hampton. Man, that Washington football team come to play, bro. I'm trying to tell you. But Derek West, my player, stepped up with 2. Cisco had a pick. Amari Harvey had an INT. Trent McDuffie had a pick, and Israel Muka had an INT as well. Again, man, that game comes down flat out to decision making, man. And what the hell? The mystery is what happened to K. Wills. Why wasn't he a part of this game? Was he suspended? Did he come show up to the hotel late? Did he not come to curfew? What that was he hurt? What was the reason why, to me, the best weapon on the Washington football team did not play in this game?
The mystery continues, because I think we need an interview with the coach, because I mean, he doesn't, like, I don't see, like, I went to injury report, he not hurt, and it's impossible for him to get hurt in the game, because rushing the ball he has 0 attempts, receiving the ball he has 0 receptions. So I don't know what happened at all. I have no idea.
We need answers, DC. We need answers, hitter. We need answers. Simple as that. Alright, let's come to the last game that was just played. I didn't watch this game at all. I was knocked the fuck out sleep. But I did catch the last about 3 minutes of the game when it was 34-34. I caught that. And off of that, I learned a lot. And I can explain a lot of this game without even seeing the whole game. You did play in it, so you know we will let you talk about it, what you think happened in this game. But you matched up with an opponent to really, in a way, he's kind of your kryptonite.
Yeah, I mean, we split a lot of games. Like, I got him this season. Like, I played him this season as well. I blew him out. So, I mean, that probably, like, it was like a revenge game, right? So, he was thinking revenge, right? So, I mean, we always have close, tight games, and we always it tends to go either way, one way or another. I mean, sometimes he gets me, sometimes I get him. It hasn't really been like a lopsided, like, he's beaten me like 3-4 times in a row, or I've beaten him 3-4 times in a row.
There's always a swinging door. There's always a tug of war with y'all too. And you gotta like, especially squad rivals. You gotta like those type of rivals. That's usually what happens in those type of rivals, man. You know, Tone part of the squad, whether he claim it or not, he's part of the squad. So you know, in this game, I go into this game as a fan to both of y'all, knowing that you know 2 of my guys is going to play on. Simple as that. Which one of y'all play on? You know, the one that doesn't play on, that kind of, you know, blow my shit down. My bad. Your shit over with. All right, let's pack up and get ready for next season. Keep it moving. That's how I talk to, you know, y'all, and y'all talk to me when I lose in big game playoff games. Move on. Let's go. But with that being said, man, burst happened in this situation, and I'm digging into this game. Now, Nano, I want to see, I mean, 371 yards, 491, and the fact that it was 41-34, I mean, a one-score game. You guys were putting it on offense, and you rushed for 222 yards in this game. Journey was held to 65. You threw for 149 in this game, and he went bonkers. The one thing that you know that we know your defense is good against is the pass, and he threw for 426 yards on you today, and we're going to discuss that. 12 first downs to 11. 515, and if you listen to Tone in chat, you heard Tone. You know his defense. He's comfortable defensively, right? And he's been screaming it for the last season, maybe season and a half. I gotta figure out what I'm doing on offense. Like I'm killing myself on offense. When he's losing and he's on the chat with us, he's talking about his offense. His offense, his offense, his offense, his offense. It looked like it came together today. It looked like that wasn't a problem at all today. It looked like, you know, 2 guys went up against each other that's very powerful at what they do, and it looked like the Lions hit all cylinders on offense today. I'm not even mad at 65 rushing yards, especially when you threw the ball before 26. Total yards gained 515. Both of y'all did what we talked about. Didn't really turn the ball over. One turnover, I thought your turnover came late. Trying to score, I don't know when his turnover happened, but yours was a last attempt to win to tie the game up or win the game, which is you know, throwing one of them things up and it get picked at the end. I don't know when his turnover was, but one is not killing him. In the red zone, time of possession, y'all both had the ball for 14 minutes pretty much. So this was an even game across the board except for the passing game. And here we go. Dustin Crum, 133.8, 426, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 75 was his longest. The man did not see the dirt at all today. He did not get sacked, not one time today. Now Ritter, on the other hand, 61.4, 168, threw a pick and was sacked 3 times in this game. In the rushing department, of course, 23 carries, 219, 3 touchdowns. That kid can't get stopped by anybody, so that's what happens when you play Hemi Henderson. Journey Brown, 13 carries, 61 yards. He averaged 4.7. That's 5 yards a carry and a touchdown. That's enough to get the shit done. Nobody else really contributed in the run game. But when we take a look at the Lions as a whole in the passing game, fuck out of here at 3 catches and a touchdown for 107 yards. GETA Hasselwill, 4 catches, 106 yards and a touchdown. Mario Williams, 4 catches, 104 yards and a touchdown. Shit, Brian Robinson out the backfield, 2 catches, damn near 100 yards, 76 and a touchdown. Tight end caught the ball twice, 11 yards a catch. Journey Brown out the backfield, I mean, only had 3.7 yards a catch, but he caught the ball 3 times. They were throwing the football, and it looks like it was thrown all over the place. And here's what I'm going to say. Just the last drive, when you had to get a stop, what I saw was robotic football on your part that usually works for you. You had a guy that understood what to do because you showed the same looks. Down the stretch, I saw cover 3, cover 4, cover 3, cover 4, cover 3, cover 4, cover 3, cover 4. No adjustments, no nothing, just playing it, hoping the guy make a play. And because you didn't get no pressure on him, he was able to sit back there, pat the ball, and throw to the guys that was open. And then when he couldn't throw deep, he threw a bubble screen on you. And then when he couldn't throw a bubble screen, he threw a crossing route on you. Or he had the running back come out the backfield and he hit him deep on a wheel route. Things like that, which you don't control because you don't do anything different outside of calling your plays on defense and allowing your team to play for you. That's exactly what I think happened in that game. And I only saw the last few minutes. I saw his last drive for him to score a touchdown. And I can tell that's exactly what happened through the entire game for him to down there throw for 500 yards on that defense. No pressure, and he pretty much threw to where you wasn't going to cover at because you don't make those type of necessary adjustments during the game to stop those things. You're going to call the defense you call, and your defense usually play good in a way of they don't do things they're not supposed to be doing. But in a playoff game, when a guy has a rhythm and has your rhythm of play calling, you have to make something happen. That means you got to make an adjustment on a player, make them do something different that you ain't used to doing, maybe go man a little bit more. You had to do something different in this game and you didn't do it, and he was comfortable with the rhythm of your play calling. I would love to find out if I'm 100% right on this. If Tone's listening, he responds to this. Hopefully he hears what I'm saying, and maybe he can clarify, am I right or wrong? But that's what I saw on that last drive. I saw when you came out and your coverages, that should be hard. It was a lot of catches that shouldn't have been caught on my side. Hey, they're making big plays. No cap, that's exactly what I said. Oh shit, yep, there it go. And I mean, Nano, you can't be mad at it. You hear me tell you this all the time. And we've even worked on things to be able to get you out of that situation. And when you're uncomfortable, you get comfortable by calling the plays you used to calling, and that's that. We all do it, but sometimes not making some adjustments on play calling can hurt you, especially when a guy okay, I know he in zone, I could do this. I know he in this, I could do this. I know he in that, I could do this. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it easier for a guy to move up and down the field on you when they know these things. So you got to kind of switch that up. I think that was the defining moment. And then you get the ball back late with barely time on the clock, and your run game ain't present, even though it looked like Henny was on his way to scoring for you again on a run. I thought like, oh my God, he about to be gone. But he put you in a situation where you had to you was going to have to launch the ball sooner or later. And he just bent and didn't break and waited for you to have to throw the ball. And then, when you got to the chance to try to throw a touchdown, to throw it up, he got the pick. And that was that game. I mean, y'all played a hell of a game for it to go down to one possession. But you got to give kudos to the Lions for putting that drive together that he needed to put together, because either one of y'all could have did anything. Because if he give you the ball back on a 3 and out, you got enough time to let Henderson be the guy to win you the ball game. Simple as that. So that's what came down to that game. Talk to me about that, like what I just said on how you lost that game.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like he was really comfortable back there, mainly because my front four didn't really get enough pressure. Like, we didn't even sack him or put any pressure on Crump, so he was just snapping the ball. He just had like 5 seconds to like read the field. It was just I don't know if it was what I was calling, or like I felt like I was in a lot of like, not to give like I was in a lot of 3-4, like not 3-4, but like cover 3, cover 4 today, and that's probably why I didn't really get a lot of pressure on him. So that's on me.
I know how that feeling when you're sitting in 3-4 and guys are throwing the ball. You gotta hope your coverage is great, because what happens is your edge guys are getting double teamed, and you're really not getting no one-on-one, so they get extra time just because you're sitting in a 3-4. If you're not sending linebackers along with that, you can get yourself situations. So I know that uncomfort zone of sitting in that 3-4 odd and giving guys all day to pat the ball and find routes, being open. I don't know. Nano didn't get sacked with that D-line. Yeah. Sitting in 3-4, that 3-4 odd, bro. When you got 5 on 3 every time. That's how. Simple as that. That's how. and he not having momentum. Usually them sacks come out of the 3-4 eye because he got the momentum because he done ran the ball on you and you done turned it over 3 times throwing picks, and he ain't turned it over yet, and because he keeping drives going with the run game and you throwing picks, he gets the momentum and then they start teeing off on you in that 3-4. Or he's sending that great linebacker core because his linebacker core better than his D line, and he send those guys too, and if he's sending those guys, then now we playing different football. I'm not sure if he blitzed those linebackers a lot today. I think he took their strengths away from them today and made them play in coverage all game, versus sending those guys, because you got 2 out of the 4 linebackers that play all game long with double-digit tackle for losses. Those guys send those guys. Simple as that. And it's just, you're playing your game. It's a close game. The pressure is on, and you don't want to make no mistakes, so you call what's comfortable for yourself. I know that feeling. So at the end of the day, shout out to Tone for moving on. Simple as that, because I got to go back to this right here. All these receivers had a big day today, and that's hard to do on a 49ers defense. He was trying to play safe, and he played too safe. I believe that. I know how that feeling is. Again, I mean, these guys had a day today. Not a high volume of catching individually, but the fact that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys touched the ball more than 2 or more times today shows you the comfort zone that he had Crum in today. I mean, Crum showed out and showed off today. Yeah, one guy, fuck out of here, at 35.7 yards to catch. Hasselwood had 26.5. Jaden Hasselwood was written off. He was the #1 receiver in his draft class. He was written off. Nobody even heard about him, thought about him until we talked about him on a Real Talk last year and forced somebody to go trade for this guy because he's a monster sitting on a team that he just couldn't get no burn on. What's that you sent me? And he went the fuck off. Mario Williams is his favorite receiver from that slot, and I'm quite sure out of these 4 catches, tell me am I wrong, was it at least 2 or 3 bubble screens out of these?
3 of them.
Exactly.
I just couldn't stop them. I knew they were coming, I just couldn't get out there.
And why is that, Nano? Why, when you know the bubble's coming, you're gonna, because you didn't call the right defenses?
Yeah, I was using the outside linebacker trying to get there, and he was just too slow. He was not. I was trying everything.
Yes, sir. All right, so that was that game, man. Nano, do me a favor and check and see if they loaded up yet. The Falcons and the Bucks right now, man. So it looks like the winner, if the 7th seed beat the Falcons, he's going to the Rams. If the 2nd seed wins that game, then he's going to the Lions. It'll be, 2 versus 4, 3 versus 1, or 4 versus 1, 3 versus 2. I'm sorry, 3 versus 2 if they win. It'll be 3 versus 2 and 4 versus 1 over here. Or if the Bucks win, it'll be 1 versus 7. And then we'll have a 4 versus 3 game. Two, 3, 4, 5. So 5 out of the 6 games that was played. Let's look at who were the in this game, who was the offensive player and defensive player. All right, Lamar threw 2 touchdowns, and he had no rushing touchdowns. It looked like I still would give Lamar. You know what? I'm sorry. Let's not even give it. Got to give it to Wilder. 2 touchdowns, 2 catches. Simple as that. I don't think he had the best day out of all the playoff games that were played. But he was the player of the day in this game. Defensively, over here, I would like to say you got. Loudermilk 7, 1 tackle for loss and a sack. It probably can go to either or. Galvatron 5 tackles, 1 sack and a pick. I'm gonna go to one of those 2 players in that game. Offensively and defensively over here, I would say more likely it will go to Devin Ford, 23 carries, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. And on the defensive side of things, it will probably go to who balled out the most. I like this Malik Harvey situation today. 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 picks. So he would get that MVP. Offense and defense will go to Ford, the running back, and Malik Harvey, the corner, in the Colts and Denver Broncos game. Shador Sanders, to me, gets this over here offensively. He went to fuck dummies. 5 touchdowns, no picks. He balled out. He would get it. Defensively, though, you got to go look at the Chargers. And I would say Ringo, 8 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack. You could probably give it to him. Let's look at sacks real fast. Yeah, we'll probably give it to him. Horn had a pick, 6 tackles. Ali had 5, 1 tackle for loss. INT. What this?
Shit. I'd probably give it to either Ringo or Warren, I guess.
And what you got, shower or no?
Ringo or Horn? I don't. Yeah.
I mean, Ringo. It could have been Ringo or Horn. I mean, Horn had. I mean, shit. All 3 of these guys, Ringo, Horn, or Ali. 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and an INT here. 6 tackles. So you could have gave it to any one of these secondary guys, man. I'm gonna give it to Ringo though. I know he didn't have a pick, but he led the team in tackles with 8 of them. He had a tackle for loss and a sack in this game, so I'm gonna give it to him. And that's over here now. And y'all choose games. Dustin Crum gets the offensive player. You just can't give it to nobody else. He threw 4 touchdowns today. He's dotting shit up. On the defensive side of things, though, this is interesting. Kamari Ramsey, the rookie, had 7 tackles. That was it, though. What else went on over here? Let's see, sack department. Speed, 4 tackles and a half, sack and a half. That's not bad. INT department, they both only had 1. Larger Blaze. I think you gotta give it to the guy that led the team in tackles and get a rookie, Kamari Ramsey, the rookie of the day. I mean, player of the game. I'm sorry. On defense, Kamari Ramsey balled out. And then you go look at what happened over here. Possibly a Travis Etienne type of sighting day again. 13 carries, 152 yards, 11.7 yards to carry, 2 touchdowns. And defensively, might have been Derek West. It's either going to be Preston Brown, 7 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, right? Or we're going to go, I mean, Chase Young had a day. If they win, he will be up there. And then D West, 2 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 INTs. That was just as valuable. But I just think Preston Brown showed who he was today. All over the place. 7 tackles, 4 tackles for loss. I like Preston Brown with the defensive player of the game for the Cowboys right now. So, all right, so that was that over here, bro. That's what is going on right now, man. We got a lot of shit that we can get to. A lot of guys are in their off season right now. Honestly, what I would be doing if I was the guy that's not playing right now, I would be looking for big name players to trade for more than a drafted player right now. This late in the where we got 2 seasons left. I'm not saying that the rookies can't be good, bring them in and have excitement with, but you want players that can help you win right now, not a player that you want to develop and hope that can help you win. You need players that you can plug in and start at this point right now. And we're going to be in a situation where guys can't afford their guys right now. You can get some of these players cheap. So if I'm not playing, I'm in my GM bag right now, getting ready. And I think I will be more trying to get ready with, you know, what's the biggest names out there, who's on somebody's team that I can use that they don't really need anymore. And I'll be looking at those situations right now to try to you know, pick up that piece or two that can get you over the hump of getting in the playoffs, or get you over the hump of already being in the playoffs and winning a playoff game or two, possibly the Super Bowl. Simple as that. That's how I will be attacking the end of this season right now, especially in middle of July, attacking players that's ready to go versus players you have to build. Those guys that are already built can do the draft class guys that they can plug in maybe a player or two and bring them up, but you're really not going to get the value out of that guy as much as you'll get an already made player that's in their 2nd or 3rd year. It's not really being used like that, or could use a new home, or they can't afford them, whatever the case may be. There's guys all over guys' rosters right now that should be in different homes before it's all said and done to start the next season. So get your GM on. Simple as that. We should expect to see that our rules chat lighting up with trades and things like that going down right now. So again, AntHits, the franchise guru. I'll be back to you again once that Falcons and Bucks game get played and let y'all know what happened there, so we can get on to these divisional rounds. Holla at you. Wanna holla at you.